This conference will now be recorded.
So we need to install an Apache server, and after that, from that Apache server, we can install the model server, and we can configure the model server in that particular Apache server. So what is the LMS portal means? So it's a learning management system. It's like model is like LMS portal, and we can configure that, right? So first we need to install Apache server in that in order to do that LMS portal, right? So just go for running instances. So we need to install the Apache server first. So later we can do model server in our particular Apache server. Just launch instance. So take the Ubuntu server here. First, let us all go with all the default things. So configure instance details. Next, add storage. So 8 GB it is taking. Add tags. So I'm giving the name tag as model server. Configure security group. So I'm taking my existing one. So I'm taking the existing one. So review and launch, and launch the configuration. So I'm just going with my existing key. So I have already my existing key here. So I'm just taking a script key here. So if you want to take the new key, it will be fine, no problem. So you can take the new key also. So just launch instances. No audio. Am I audible now? Please respond, sir. Is my voice audible? Yes. Thank you, sir. So yesterday's one and today's one video sessions will be posted in WhatsApp group, sir. Today we will post in WhatsApp groups. No problem. So just click on view instances. So this is our, so we have installed a server. Okay, so now we need to take the putty configuration. So just copy your IP address and just connect with your putty. So login as sudo su hyphen. So login with the root permissions. So after that, so we need to install the Apache configuration now. So Apache server we need to install, and after that, so we can use some sort of applications supported by the Moodle server. So we are going to do all the things. So first we need to install. So we need to update the server. So so it is updated. So next we need to install so Apache server. Sudo apt install Apache 2 hyphen 1. So it is installed. So next service Apache 2 restart. So now check so whether it is server is running or not. So just take a new tab and search for the server. So we have successfully installed Apache server. So now from this server to, so we can configure our Moodle server. So how to configure Moodle server means, so first we need to install MySQL, and after that we need to create a database, and from that database too we need to give the permissions. So in order to use the Moodle server, we need credentials. So for that credentials we need to create a database, and in that database we are going to create username and password for our applications. So for that, by using that credentials, we can log into our Moodle server as LMS portal. So we can log into our LMS portal and we can configure all the things, right? So first we need to install the MySQL. So after that we can go with the Moodle server download for Moodle server, and how to get it from the some URLs, basic URLs. So we are going to do that. Okay. So now how to install the MySQL. Okay. So first we need to check the MySQL. So whether it is installed or not. So MySQL hyphen version. So if you give, so it's not installed, so it didn't install, that means it is getting the, so you need to install these types. Okay, so first we need to install the commands. So install the MySQL. So for installing of MySQL, so just sudo apt install MySQL hyphen client. So this is also you can give, and or else that would be also fine. So hyphen core 7. So you can install like that also. So install the MySQL client. So yes or no? So yes, I want to install. So we need to install MySQL client as well as server also. So if you are using MySQL, you can use the MySQL server, or else if you are using MySQL Aurora, you can use Aurora also. So whatever the particular MySQL server you need, you can install the particular database engine in your servers. Okay, and next we can install that command as server also. So install the MySQL server also. Yes, I want to install. So it is installing. Yes, it is done. So now check for the MySQL hyphen version. See, so MySQL version 14.14 distribution has been installed in our server. So from that server, we need to install the, we need to create the database. Okay, from that MySQL database too, we need to create some database, right? So for that database, so we need to install the, so already we installed, so we need to create the database, right? So now type MySQL -u root. So if you give that name, so you will be asking for MySQL, right? Now execute that command. See, we have successfully connected to MySQL. So whenever we give the MySQL -u space root, so it is successfully connected to the MySQL database, right? So from this one, from this MySQL database too, we need to create our Moodle server. Okay, so Moodle server as your names also. So you can give Moodle server, or else you can give Moodle DB, or else you can your name DB. So anything you can give. Okay, so just give the database name there. So database name giving as, I'm giving as my database name as, so create database Moodle semicolon. Right, so before going to do that one, so just check for any of the databases are there. Show databases, if you type, so it will shows you the default ones. So previously whatever the SQL databases are there, it will be shown there. So now we need to create the database. So create database mode. So I'm just giving the my database name as mode. So you can give your names also, right? So just create it. So it is created. Now check for the show databases. See, Moodle is created. So now we need to use that credentials. So now you need to use the, so that database, right? So next one is, so we need to create a user. Okay, so next we need to create a user, and after that, so we can so use that user to our LMS portal, right? So for that one, so just create the user, create user. So I'm just giving my name, @ so percentile. So percentile is nothing but, so any users, so any users you can access from the that one, right? So identified by, and password. So what is the password for your username? So I'm just giving my password 1 to 8 numbers, right? So just execute that one. So query, okay, 0 rows affected. So we have created the user. So now we need to create the user, and we have to give the permissions for that user. So we have just created a database, and after that we have just created a username and the password. And next one we need to give the permissions for our that one. So we need to give the permissions for our user as well as the database, right? And so for that one, so we need to create, we need to give the permissions. So for that one, so grant all permissions. So we are giving the all the permissions in one command. So grant all, grant, select, insert, update, delete, create, create temporary, tables, drop, index, alter, on. So these are the permissions, these are the actions we need to perform. So on which database we need to perform? On Moodle dot star to. So what is the username? So yeah, the Rupesh is the username. So we need to give that one, right? So and identified by your password, right? So just execute that one. So I just forgot to give the. So you have an error in your query syntax. So grant all. So right. So I don't need to give grant all here. So just grant I can give. So grant, select, insert, update, delete, create, temporary tables, drop, index, alter, on, model dot star to username at the rate identified by your password, semicolon. So it is affected. So what we have done means, so we have directly give the permissions, or we have directly given the permissions as select, permission, select, insert, update, delete, create, table creation, dropping, index. So we have given all the permissions in a single command. So on the database as Moodle database, and for the user, my my username and followed by the username, password. So you can give that commands, and you can give all the permissions in same command. So like this one. Okay, so we have given the grant permissions in that particular database and the username. So we have given, right? So now, so next one is, so we need to install some more commands. So more commands means, so we need to install PHP, we need to install PHP Lambda, also PHP MySQL. So we need to install that ones, right? So creation of database and granting of creation of database and creation of users and granting of the permissions, but for that particular username and database. So it's completed. So now exit from the MySQL mode. So we can type exit. So we have quitted from the MySQL mode. So now we need to install the PHP. Right now we need to install the PHP. So I'm just clearing the screen. Now we need to install the PHP. So how to install PHP? Sudo apt install php, right? So command not found. Okay, so sudo apt install php. So do you want to continue? Yes, I want to continue. Yes. So it is installing. So now check for the version. So php hyphen version. So what will you find if you type that command? So we will find the php version. So php 7.2, it is the installed version. So now, so I'm just clearing the screen. So now we have installed php in our server, and after that we need to install php mysql also. So just install the sudo apt install php mysql. Yes, I want to install. So it is installed, right? So now we need to give the permissions as the required backend supporters to the mysql php also. So we need to install the supporting platforms for php and mysql as well. So for that one, so just clearing my screen again. Sudo apt install graphviz aspel ghost script clamau php hyphen php curl php good php install php hyphen mysql php hyphen xml php hyphen xml rpc php hyphen ldap php hyphen zip php hyphen soap php hyphen mb string. So these are all the supporting platforms for php and mysql. So we need to install all those commands in order to work on the Moodle server. So just execute that command. So I have given a mistake. So here it is. So XML, it is hyphen. Now enter that. Yes. So all the necessary tools are installed background for our server. So it is installing. So it is installed. It's working in background. So just clear. So is my server running? Yes, it is running. It's taking a bit time to connect to my putty. My networking is working fine, I think. It's working. It takes time to connect to my putty. So let me stop and restart. So I will stop my server and after that I will restart my server again. So let it see. So we will see. So I'm just going for actions. State stop. Just a refresh. Still it is stopping. Yes. So my server got stopped. So now I'm restarting my server. Just go to actions, instance state, and start the server again. So whenever you restart your server, your IP address will be changed. So I just restarted my server. So I'm just connecting my server with my IP address. Just copy the IP address. So go for putty and give the address. The network working fine, but its connection of putty per server is getting delayed. So restart. So connection is not establishing. So still it's not getting connection. So I will do one thing. I will launch one more instance. So we will see that instance will connected or not. So we will see that also. So let it get connection. So I'm just going with the new instance. So Ubuntu. Add storage. Tags. Name. Module underscore server. Configure. So I'm just taking the existing one. Review and launch. Launch my server. So I'm just taking my existing key. Script. So acknowledge launch instances. So is my server got connection? So no, it's not got connected. So, okay. So this one is also not connected. The instances. So this is my server. So my one is Ubuntu server as it is. So I'm just taking my IP address. Just go with this one. So appearance, change the font size. So it's got connecting. So I will try with this one also. So just taking the IP address. So I'm taking a new putty here. So paste it. So SSH authentication browser and so your key. So appearance. So for that connection of server, for that server is getting refused. So I will get to know that so later. So we will go with the new server here. So just to here we need to install all the comments. So easy to, so not easy to, let's say Ubuntu server. Sudo su hyphen. So install the sudo apt update server. Sudo apt install apache 2 hyphen y. So I'm just redoing the all the previous comments. So my first server is getting connection getting refused. So that's why I have just relaunched the server, taken a new server, and for that server I'm doing all the things again. So just clearing my screen so that you can understand easily. So we just installed our Apache also. So next we need to install MySQL. So sudo, so not sudo, uh, sudo apt install MySQL hyphen client. Yes. So next the same command as for server. Yes, I want to install. So it is installed. So next, so check for the MySQL version. So it is installed. So next MySQL -u root. So in that one, so just show databases. So create a database here. So create database model. So just create it. Now databases says so model server got created. So now we need to create a user also. So for our server. Okay. So for that one, create user. So I'm just giving my name. So @ identified by password semicolon, enter. So query got created, and so we need to give the permissions. We need to give grant the permissions. So grant, select, insert, update, delete, create temporary tables, drop index, alter on our model server. So model dot star to our username, percentile, so not percentile, @ so this percentile identified by your password. So query got created. Okay, so now we need to exit from the database and we need to install the MySQL, right? So just exit from the MySQL, exit. So now install sudo apt install php. Yes, install. So it is installed. Now install sudo apt install php mysql also. Install. Yes. So now we need to install the supporting platforms also. So sudo apt install GraphViz, Aspel, Ghost script, PHP, pspell, PHP, curl, PHP, good, PHP hyphen, Intel, PHP hyphen, MySQL, PHP hyphen, XML, PHP hyphen, XML, RPC, PHP hyphen, LDAP, PHP hyphen, zip, PHP hyphen, PHP hyphen, SOAP, PHP hyphen, MB, string. So install them. Yes, install. So it is all installing all the necessary supporting tools. So in the backend. So we successfully installed our supporting tools, right? So it got stuck again. So why the server is got refusing the server? So clear. So it's taking time. Yes. So now restart the service. So service Apache to restart. So it's taking some time. Restart, enter. So we are just restarting our server. So service Apache to restart. So next we need to get the module server from the Git. So or else if you are having any links to get the particular module server, you can use that links also. So currently we are going with the Git accounts. So we are going to download the module server from the Git and we can install the particular module server in our servers, in our Apache server. So actually this doesn't take this much time, but so it's taking much time now. So anyone is doing parallelly with me? So hope so from your side it will be worked. So I will quickly take another putty. So this is my IP address as so 111 it is. So as I'm having a private IP, this one it is. So up to now in the two servers I have done the same configurations in the two servers. So I'm just going for this server now. So please don't get confused. So I'm just taking that one. So new session. Quality 16 colors system. SSH application browse. So select your key and open. So this server also is taking my time. So this server also I'm taking the new one. It's not get worked. Session. So it's got so next one is from this one we need to get the Moodle server. So let's start the Moodle server getting sudo yes it's one. So sudo git clone git hyphen double slash git dot moodle.com sorry moodle.org slash moodle.git. So we are taking the git server. So we are taking the git server from the moodle.org, right? So from the git session by using that one. Just enter that one. So cloning into Moodle. So we are getting the Moodle server. So just I'm closing the remaining putties. So we are getting the Moodle server to our particular Apache server. So it's getting receiving objects as the percentage. So receiving objects. So once we retrieve the files from the model.org, so we can configure that one. So 62% it is. Receiving objects is completed. So resolving deltas. So it's done. So now check whether the files are downloaded or not. So by using ls, so we can check the files. Yes, so model it is downloaded. So if you want to do the permissions with permissions, so you can give ll. So it's a downloaded. So model it's downloaded. Now, so what is our output page here? So this is our output page. So this where this content is having. So this content is having in this particular path. So now we need to deploy our model server into this path only. So but we have downloaded the model server in the root mode. So if you type pwd, so we are in a root mode now. So what is our output page here? So this is our output page and it lies in the this particular path /var/www/html. So now we need to place our total entire model server in this particular path. So then only so your IP address will works with the model server. So now we need to place all the model server files to our particular path. Okay, so copy the files. So by using copy space -r, so r is nothing but recursively. So model source. So where the destination is, so where www html. So we are placing the total model files. So whatever the file that we have downloaded to our root configuration, so we are placing the all model servers into this particular path. So then only our model servers will works under the particular IP address. Okay, so now just copy all that files. So it is copy. So it just copied. So now check for the this particular directory. So now cd space /var/www/html. So changed, clear. So now check for the servers. So in this HTML file it is having and module also it is having. Okay. So now, so if you type ll, so you will see the file permissions. So module it is having. So it is so read write execute. So read execute and read execute. Okay. So now we need to change the file permission. Okay, so after the file permission changing, we can do. So chmod 777 mode. Okay, so now check for the permission again. LL. See, previously, so owner group also, it is owner group doesn't have writing permission, and user also doesn't have write permissions. So now after giving this command, so it got all the permissions. So read write execute, read write execute. So it is having. Okay, so now what we will do is, so we need to give the owner permissions as well. So for that owner permissions, chown -r www data www data on Moodle. So we are giving ownership permissions for our Moodle server, right? So it just completed. So now, so we need to enter into the that Moodle server files, Moodle server configuration files. So just a cd space Moodle. So we just entered into Moodle. So type the files. So check for the files. It is having that much files. Okay. Now we need to create. We need to configure the file. So which file we need to configure? So we need to configure the config dist.php. So we need to configure that one. So just nano space config -dist. So that file we need to configure. Okay, nano space config -dist.php file we need to configure, right? So in this one too, so we need to select, we need to change our username, database, and password also. So just go down. So we'll find the details here. Okay, so change as per your details. So here our database name is Moodle as it is, and username is, so what is our username? So I have given Rupesh as username, and the password. So password I have given 1 to 8 numbers. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, right, as it is. Okay, so now change these files. So you need to change the database username and the database name and the username and the password of the user. So that thing we need to change. So just click on Control W, sorry, not Control W. So just Control X, Y, and so it is successfully changed. Okay, so now, so we need to change the permission for this entire path also. So previously we have given the permission for this one. So now we have to give the permission for entire this directory. Okay, and for that one, sudo chmod -r 0755/var w html and Moodle. Enter. So now I have changed the permission successfully. Okay, so now we need to configure the file. So what file means? So we need to configure this directory to our Moodle directory. So actually we have some files in the configuration files we are having. So in that files, so only up to HTML path only they will configure. It will be configured. So we need to configure the Moodle now. So why? Because we have downloaded the Moodle server and we have to configure this Moodle server to this particular directory, entire directory. So we need to change that one. So to change that one, first we need to change to /etc/. Apache 2. Okay, so first we will check the files. So what are the files in that one? So ls. So it is files having as so that file. So cd Apache 2 is having that many files, and now we need to edit the sites available. So we need to edit that page. Okay, so now we need to change the that path also. cd space sites available. Yes, it is changed. So I'm just clearing the screen. Sites available. So now we need to change the file. So just check for the files whatever it is having. So here, so 000 default dot configuration file. So we need to change that file. So we need to configure that file. So nano space 000. So default configure, right? So we need to change that one. So here, so document root. So we need to change this one. So what is the document root here? So www slash where slash www slash html. So it is the document root for our application. So now what is the file we are installing? Now we are installing the Moodle server. So for that one, so we need to add the Moodle to this particular directory slash Moodle. So that is you can give and save that file. Yes, Control X for saving, Y for yes or no, and enter. So it is successfully changed. Now we need to bind the address as well. So we need to bind the address as well. So for that one, so change to cd space slash etc mysql hyphen. So first we will check whatever the files it is having. So mysql. So ls if we type. So mysql conf.d. So we need to change that directory. So cd space so mysql .conf.d configuration file. Okay, so we have changed it to that particular directory. And next one, so type ls. So to check file the files, and we need to edit the file. So mysqld dot configuration file we need to edit. So nano space mysql dot configuration file. So this is the file. So in this file we need to bind the host address. So we will have the host address as below. So just check for this address. It is so bind address. So we need to comment it out. So just comment the bind address. So that thing you can do, right? So just bind the address and just quit from the configuration file and just enter the file. Okay, so done that. So after that, so just go for the so mysql hyphen configuration.d. So we just created one. So next, so cd space. So just go for the our HTML path folder. So HTML and so ls. So all the files are having. So now just create a directory there. mkdir Moodle data. So just create the mkdir Moodle data configuration file. Just enter. So created. Just go for the ls. So we have created Moodle data successfully. So after the creation of Moodle data, we need to change the permission as well. So for that Moodle data also. So just go for chmod 777 model data. So it's done. So now, so owner permissionship we have to change. So we have given the read write execute permissions, and now we need to change the ownership as well. So for that ownership permission, ch1 -r www -data www -data model data. Right, so just enter this. So it's done. So now, so just refresh the server. So service Apache 2 restart. Yes, done. So now check for the output now. So configuration of a model server has been done. So now check for the output here. So what is my output path here? So it is 111. So my IP address is 111 it is. So I'm just 111 IP address, and it is 247. So copy and paste code. So it is asking for installation of PHP. So we have just configured the model server, and we just need to install our PHP as MySQL also. So we need to do all the configuration from the IP address. So here, so language, you can select the particular language. Just so go with the default. If you want to change any particular thing, you can change it, and click on next here. So confirm paths. So it is asking for the paths. So we have just address as this one, and model directory and data directory. So model data we have created. So in that directory only we are installing the our model server. Just click on next. So database driver. So it is asking MySQL. If you want to change any others, you can select it. So you are having Aurora MySQL DB, MariaDB, so Postgres, Oracle. So these are not available. So available database services are improved MySQL, Aurora MySQL, and MariaDB. So we have installed our MySQL database and just going for the MySQL only. Just click on next. So here, so database name, so model database are having. So database user, so my database is Rupesh, and password is so 123456778. So that is my password, and you don't need to do anything. So just give the username and password for your database server, model server. So just click on next. So copyrights of your model server. So modular object oriented. So model definition is this one. So modular object dynamic learning environment. Model object oriented dynamic learning environment. Model. Okay, just click on continue. So it's give you the model server definitions. So model development configuration files. So you will get this one. So name information. So if you want to download this one particular ones, you can download. So else just go with the continue option. Okay, just click on continue. So installation, so system installation, antivirus. So we have installed all these ones. So clam AV, so system, so we have installed grouping, profile, calculated. So all these are we have installed. So by taking as the default ones in the module server. So you have installed all these things. So whenever you install the module server, so some things will be defaultly installed. So it is already installed when you downloaded the module server in your server. So just click on continue. So user setups. So username, new password, full name, surname. So you can give the things. So these are the mandatory fields, right? So just give the username. So I'm just giving the username as the previous one only. So Rupesh, and the password. So we need to create the password. Click to enter text. So here, so enter the password 1234567. So I just given that one, and so I'm just letting as defaults. So first name is I'm changing now. Rupesh, surname. So I'm just giving like that. So email address you need to give. So I'm just giving my email address. And these are all. So if you want to give, you can give. So I'll select it as this one. So I'm just going with the Kolkata is there, I think. India. So time zone. Indian. So might be will having Asia Pacific, or else Asia Kolkata, Asia Delhi also. Anything is there? Asia. Yes, Asia Kolkata. Just give that name and just click on update profile. So it showed the error as the password. So just change the password. So it's throwing an error as the password. So you need to give the password must at least have one lowercase, one uppercase, and at least one alphanumeric characters. So just give that once. So I just given as so Rupesh at the rate 123. So let us try with that one and update profile. Yes, it's done. So site name. So as your wish you can give. So you can give a technical word or else some technical solutions. You can give all the things. So I'm just giving a technical word. So you can give your names also. Anything you can give. So information technical information. So default time zone, just select our time zone, Asia, Kolkata. And nothing to do, just click on save changes. So this value is not valid. So emails are sometimes sent out on behalf of our user. So the email address you specify here will be used as the from database in these cases when the recipients should not be able to reply directly. So you can give your email address here. So just give this IP email address and just save changes. Yes, it's done. So this is your websites looks like. So this is your website. So if you want to change anything, so you can change the particular things. Right. So dashboard. So you'll be in a dashboard only. Site administration. If you go with this one, so you will see like this. Site home. So this is the web page of your Moodle server. So the name is you have given a technical world, and you can do that once. Okay. So available courses, you can add a new course, and you can do the particular courses in your server. Calendar also it is having. So if you want to edit, you can edit. So private files. So these are related to your Moodle server. Content bank. So you can search. So technical courses if you type. So it is not having. Okay. So if you are having any files you are having, so you can get it by upload. So you can upload the files, and you can do in the your website page and site administration. So this is the installation of a Moodle server. So your server will be looks like this when you install your Moodle server on your Ubuntu page, right? So Moodle server configuration has been done. So any queries? So please let me know if you have any queries regarding the Moodle server installation.
No, sir.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Sir, is server static IP or dynamic IP?
So this is a dynamic IP, sir. So whenever you start your, whenever you stop your server and restart the server, so IP address will automatically change it.
Then how
So if
can
you
we?
want to static server, you can. So you can purchase from the Amazon itself, sir. So Elastic IP.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir. So we are having one more small topic here. So AWS Lambda. So that is nothing but a serverless configuration. So Moodle server has been completed up to this one. So I'm just explaining the small concept. So just go for services, and you can go with Lambda. So AWS Lambda. So just click on AWS Lambda. So it says serverless architecture. So whatever the things you are doing in the EC2 service, so you can do in the AWS Lambda. So which means you can run your programs so without any servers. So just click on dashboard here. So by default you will get to dashboard. So just click on create function.
The screen not yet changed at our side, sir.
So it's changing, sir. Just check for your connection. So remaining also not changing this one. Just confirm your side, sir. So what about remaining? Changing, yes. So I'm currently in a current create function page. Right. So this is the AWS Lambda function. So it means without any servers, you can run your programs also. So you'll having three types of options: either from scratch, use a blueprint, and browse serverless app repository. Right. So if you select to use a blueprint, so you can create, you can use some of the already created functions. S3 get object Python, Lex trip Python. So you can go with it. So let's go with other from scratch. So we need to configure all the things. So right. So just other from scratch and just give the function name. So I'm just giving the term my function name as test. So any names you can give. Just select the function name as test and runtime. So just go for Python. Okay, and next one, so choose an existing role, or else just go with the existing role, else create a new Lambda. So we don't have any existing roles here, so just take for the create a new role with basic Lambda permissions. Just create a function. So create a function, and function got created, and we need to configure that function. So just so it is test created, and if you scroll it down, so you will find some description here. So lambda function dot py file. So we have taken a Python and it is having as the Python file it is having, right? So now if you want to write the code down here, so just go for the select test events here. So here you need to give the test event name. Just to configure test events. So event name, so I'm just mentioned as the same one, test. So just create the test event, right? It just created. So now, so this is the sample code we are having. So now we execute this code so as it is. So just click on test here. So your execution results will be shown in the down panel, down pane. See this. So execution results. So it is succeeded, and so whatever the output it is having in the braces, it is having in the same output here. So now I'm changing this one. Okay. So just I'm deleting all this one. So I have deleted. So now I'm just giving the addition of two numbers. So I have given a is equal to 10 and b equals to 20. Okay, and now C I want to print C. So A plus B, right? So return Okay, now save this file. So after saving, just execute the program, test. See, so I'm getting the output 30. Right? So in this way, you can write your codes down here. So it's a serverless architecture. So without having any servers, you can run your programs in this one. Okay. So any doubts regarding up to this session? So please let me know if you have any queries. Can we get the material for the these sessions? So we will post it in the WhatsApp group now. So as someone is asked yesterday also, so we will create a documentation, and after that we will post it in the group. Any more queries you are having? Please let me know. So if you don't have any queries, we will wind up the session for the day. So we are completed the sessions up to today.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So if you don't have any queries, you can leave the session. Yes, and thank you all for the your presence. So thank you all for attending the sessions. Okay, thank you all of you. So I'm just closing the session for the day, and have a great weekend. Thank you.
Sir, how will we know when will be the exam, sir?
We will send a notification in the WhatsApp group, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So day before the exam, or exam before 1 hour exam, so we will intimate you in the WhatsApp group.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, fine, ma'am.